pretty okay.
Well,
but you are
I mean, if the other heroes have some sort of like, you need balance, you know, like if too much of something, that too much team fight that game. Too much of team fight is not good when you don't have catch. You need to have good team fight, like some catch, some D push, then the draft will work. That's what DC had. They had some catch, they have D push, they have team fight with the Naga Song. So they had everything. And
they had everything, and they are, well, just a step away from having a whole lot more. The semi-finals do beckon for DC, but let's have a couple of questions from you guys before we see if they can do it in 2. This one comes in from Velociraptor. What a badass name. He says, how is the CSGO community different from Dota 2? Well, I feel like that's directed at one person in particular.
I mean, you're the one that's going to know, aren't you, Alex?
How is the CSGO community different from Dota 2? God, I don't know. I mean, we're still gamers, aren't we? I'm trying to tread on eggshells here. The Dota 2 community seems like they are very. I don't know.
I mean, what do you say, Alex? I mean, it could go bad either way. Really.
Yeah, there's no right. I think basically they're both very passionate about their games.
True.
They will both defend their game until the bitter end.
Yep.
They all have incredibly strong opinions. They all are stuck in a horrible Reddit circle jerk. There's a lot of things that both communities do. Like one person has an opinion and suddenly that's theirs. Both communities do that. Both have such passionate love for individual players. I've seen so many Eternal Envy signs in the crowd. You know, it's the same thing in CSGO. And they both just love watching competitive video games at the highest level with awesome crowds and lots of fancy lights.
And the thing is with those games as well, there is a crossover. You know, these aren't two communities that are totally different. There's a fair few of us that like to play the old CSGO, and I'm sure there's a few CSGO players that like to dabble with the Dota.
Oh, I know that. I know that for a fact. In fact, I'm pretty sure Freiburg's on the vegetable esports club, whatever it's called.
Okay.
That's a thing, right?
Yeah, Veggie Esports.
Veggie Esports. I know about you, and I know that you've snatched a Ninjas in the Pajamas player to play some Dota.
I think he's like high 5k MMR.
Yeah, he's
decent.
decent.
Like that.
Yeah, he's decent.
So he's actually quite good. I guess if you are having that knack for being able to play competitive any video game, then you're going to be good at any other video game as well.
When are you going to be decent at Dota, Alex?
Well, Winter, when you start tutoring me, need my 1v1s. Actually, I watched a stream where you were doing loads of 1v1s on a stream at one point.
Did I?
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
What was that? I can't remember.
A long time ago.
A long time ago. I probably lost
I was
them
stalking him on the internet.
You were.
I was like, hang on, Owen's doing things in Dota. Let me have a little look.
Yeah, and then you came over, took our jobs.
Yep. They take our jobs. Let's have a quick look at another question. See what else is coming in. It looks like it's... Oh, here we go again. Wakonga. He says, CSGO memes versus Dota memes. The Dota memes, you know what's really funny, actually? Talking of Dota memes, I met Shiva for the first time in Sweden.
Yes.
Yes, we bumped into each other. You'd had a couple of carbonated beverages.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were a little jolly.
I was very friendly
and
normal.
The first thing she said to me, she kind of came up to me, she was like, you need to learn the memes, Alex. She was like, do you know what 322 is? And I was like, oh, I do now, thank you.
I couldn't believe you didn't know what 322 was.
I
mean, some of these memes, I thought they were kind of universal.
I thought they were universal as well, to be honest.
I've had the memes explained to me. I mean, let's be honest, we are no stranger to games being thrown in CS as well.
That's true.
That's we have our own memes.
I think
for that.
that same
Hashtag
conversation, it was Eternal Envy was the first player that I actually explained, like, Eternal Envy is his own meme.
He's a what? Did you just call a human being a meme?
I mean, Envy himself isn't a meme. He just has this amazing kind of power over memes. Really.
Yeah.
It's like, you know how you get Invoker, you know, that's Envy,
Sure.
but the balls are kind of 3 different memes that he's juggling around, and he'll whip them out anytime he wants.
I feel like Slacks juggles memes as well.
Yes.
He does.
Oh, he just consumes them, and then they come out the back end of him.
Oh, he poops memes. Wow, we're really getting some serious analysis, and now we can because it's DCNP, baby. Could this really be it for NP, or will they take us into 3? Oh, I can't stop rhyming. Help me.
Yes, it's not amazing.
I'm not doing them deliberately at this point. I swear, I've got Cat in the Hat syndrome.
I don't know what you have for breakfast, but
well, at least I had breakfast.
That's true. It's true. Okay, so for this game, NP, they need to change things up. They need to have a more solid plan. We saw previous game that they mostly were doing like reacting to the draft of Digital Chaos rather than creating their own plan. Winter, what do you think that would be their own plan if they had a choice? Would they first pick Naga? Is that a thing?
Yeah, they do run it on RE 2000, so...
If it's left there, they'll take it, yeah. They will take it. I mean, I'm kind of wondering if it's going to be banned out by either side. You know, we've seen how well DC can play with it. Maybe NP are going to be a little more scared of that rather than the Alk or one of these other kind of late-game farmers.
It does look like DC has first pick here, so... If they want to ban out the Naga...
Oh gosh, there goes the Bismarck.
There's some big heroes left in, though. Bat's still available. Warlock's still there. Luna. these kind of massive major first picks, even as you mentioned, obviously Naga Siren.
I don't think they're too worried about like the Warlock though. It seems like DC are okay with dealing with the Warlock, and they ban out heroes that MP like to pick with the Warlock. The Mirana, Beastmaster also something that I think would be very good with the Warlock. That's some catch, you know. I mentioned about how much MP were lacking in terms of catch, D-push, and Beastmaster could be a really good answer for them. So everything is in a pool, it seems. Alchemist, Naga. Gosh, Alchemist versus Naga game?
Is it really?
I mean, it could happen.
Shut up.
Both still in the pool.
Right.
Why not, right? I mean, that is something that we're expecting from these teams, so they could deliver here.
Well, one thing about that matchup is if they both go to the mid lane, Alchemist would do really well because of the acid, and you're able to clear out his illusions really well and take the runes. So that's a particularly good matchup for Alchemist. It's very difficult for Naga to do well in that matchup in the lane.
I just saw a wing sign.
So these are actually, I'm taking a Warlock. Now you have the choice of the Alchemist or the Naga.
And the other team is probably going to pick up the other one, so it's
Right.
really like if you're calling Naga Siren a poor man's Alchemist, then you surely want Alchemist, but at the same time it is AUI, and he loves his Naga Siren.
Yes. I mean, to the point of we've seen when you give him his favorite hero.
Yeah, it's not a pretty sight for
It's
the
dangerous.
enemy team. Yes.
This is a difficult move for MP right now. I don't think they expected the first pick Warlock from DC.
They would have taken that themselves if it didn't come out from DC.
Yeah.
They were kind of expecting the Alchemist maybe or the Naga, especially because they did go for the Naga in the first phase, the last game. And DC here in the second game changing a lot of their strategies. And MP, you can tell they're taking time in their draft. They totally did not expect this opening from DC. And they're going to have to,
Did you see
change their
Misery's
plan.
face? It genuinely looked like he wasn't expecting that. Just kind of, he was like rubbing his hand on his face, trying to kind of compose himself.
I mean, MP, literally the majority of the games recently, they always open with either an SD or the Warlock. So I'm going to have to try something a little bit different here in this game too. And as you've mentioned, they need something big as well.
Ogre will be a good start to keep their
there's
draft.
something else that they have used in the first couple of picks, Ogre and such. But they're coming out with the Sand King as first.
Okay. Game of chess has begun.
Naga or Alchemist is the question, and if they don't go for that, then we're going to see surely Digital Chaos pick up one or the other and ban the other one.
Difficult to say though, because they open with Warlock. It might suggest they want to go for a more aggressive plan, but it could still work with
Rubik.
Well, Rubik, Sand King, that is a very, very, very Chinese opening, I would say. Like a lot of the Chinese teams like Rubik plus Sand King. Very, very flexible. You can go to, like Sand King can go to the off lane, can go for the 4-row. Still doesn't, reveal anything to your opponents, what you're up to, For DC, they're going to have to pick a partner with the Warlock right now.
Takes it away from Saxa as well. We've seen Saxa having some fantastic performances on Rubik.
Yeah, Rubik is still really good versus Warlock because of the spells that you could steal. Either you get the Fatal Bonds, the Rock.
We're going to get the SD Luna coming through from DC. And it's a pretty strong opening. I mean, I feel straight up already, Winter, you preferring one of these openings more than the other?
You mean Warlock Luna?
Yeah.
Warlock Luna.
Yeah, no SD Luna. That's
but
definitely not
Warlock Luna is not as flexible as what MP have right now. Rubik and Sand King, you have more variations with where you can go with Rubik, Sand King. Whereas Warlock and Luna, it's pretty straightforward that they wanna team fight you. They're gonna take your towers, they're gonna pressure you. Warlock and Luna, they're gonna just run down one lane, push your towers when they want to team fight you. That's basically what DC wants to do. And you look at MP. What is MP going to do? You really do not know this.
This is literally this has revealed nothing.
This is like the first day when I saw you. I have no idea. This is what MP.
We bonded, haven't we, Winter? We have.
No.
Yeah, I was like, God, this guy is an absolute delight.
Oh, thank you.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about Owen. So good to meet you.
But you guys already knew each other, so.
Yeah, but apparently one of us bullied the other, Owen.
Yeah, according to Reddit. Yeah.
And you were older, so it's definitely you.
I am 4 months older. Yeah.
You are.
4 months.
4
close.
long months.
So MP removes the Legion Commander, something that the teams have been starting to pick up a lot more today.
But people pick it up against illusions. And so far, NP hasn't really shown anything regarding illusions. Do you feel like it says something regarding what NP might try and do here?
I mean, this is just based on my observation, but I think that the teams really value him as an offlaner initiator because he has like multiple ways of helping your team. He has the stun removal. He's really good in the laning phase. He provides you with a short cooldown catch. He has D push. He has a lot of useful tools for a team. And being good at dealing with illusions is also a bonus for the meta.
Right, the Keeper of the Light is the other one that gets removed. Digital Chaos got their hands on it previous game.
That's basically what you don't want to face up, because now DC are trying to do what MP are tried to do in the first game. They're trying to 5-man, so they do not want to be bothered by the Counter Blast, and they do not want to be slowed down and annoyed by that. So I think that's a pretty good ban, and it gives us a really good idea of what DC are going to do this game. They're going to 5-man, they want to take towers, they do not want you to defend your towers.
There is always such a contrast, isn't there, from the first draft to the second. The first, it's like everyone's done their initial homework and they do their big initial, like, this is play one. And then draft 2, it's suddenly like, okay, suddenly scramble, everything changes down to the remaining, 35 seconds in their time now for NP.
I mean, that's like the beauty of MP's opening. You really do not know what they're trying to do.
Do they?
I mean, they can adjust if they want to. I think that's one of the beauties of a second game in a series, always seeing who adjusts best and fastest. Because surely Digital Chaos, they won previous game very convincingly, but at the same time, they know that NP is going to adjust, and they're trying to think one step ahead about how NP is going to adjust and already adjust. Like, it's a mind game. It's a never-ending mind game.
Yeah.
It is chess indeed. 7 steps ahead, right, Winter?
Yep, just like my chess game with Alex yesterday.
Did you actually play?
Yeah, I tried. I basically played a game with him in the bar.
He lost in 15 moves, so faster than Owen.
I lost quicker than Owen.
There you go.
Well, you know you've messed up, right, when you move one pawn and Winter looks up from his phone and just goes, God. I got tutted at for my first move. Oh well.
I like that.
Only room for improvement. The only way is up. And there goes Sven. Okay.
Yep,
NP.
one of AOI's like
it's classic.
classic
Really.
hero, and it's really good against the Warlock because you're able to kill the Rock in a few shots with your God Strength and you give your team armor. So I think it's a pretty good counter towards the Warlock ultimate.
Okay.
Yeah, we've seen.
Wait a second. What's going on here?
Oh. What is he doing?
That's just a little tease. Little tease. I don't know what that was. I don't know what that was.
There wasn't anything.
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing happened, guys. Nothing happened.
Well, I guess you're happy now, right? There's no Alchemist, there's no Naga.
Honestly, I'm feeling good. Feeling very positive about this.
Can I add yet? Do you
Yet,
feel like there's still room?
I mean, you can't really fit it. It's unlikely that MP
I mean,
are going to pick a Naga, but DC could.
Dude, we saw
They could pick the
we
Alch.
saw Alchemist Luna game. Oh
Alchemist, I think, definitely could be on the cards for WeHeart.
Nice.
Yeah. I got to give you some of those glasses. They're
I
fantastic.
feel like he's directly
They are
talking to me.
Earthshaker.
I gotta get me someone that actually puts the glasses on for me. That's what I need.
Guys, that's an Earthshaker.
That's pretty high. I mean, I'm looking forward to some massive Echo Slam Fatal Bomb combinations.
Wait, is that a Moon hero?
I was gonna ask that. Yeah, I hope
Could
so.
it be the Moonshaker coming back? Something that we've seen at previous big
he's
kind of Valve events.
He's very known for playing that hero.
The
Alex.
Moonshaker.
Yeah, the Moonshaker. But that's going to give Rubik more spells to steal. So Rubik's going to be pretty happy with that pick from DC. But it does give them very good combination with the Fatal Bonds.
Do not give Alchemist.
Do not give.
If that was
Give Alchemist. Oh, I think a reason for a lot of people to get excited about this pick, SVG Elder Titan, this was one of the things that he was known for the most when he first kind of started to play with MP.
So everyone's kind of going to their signature heroes, it seems.
It's nice. I think this is exactly what you want to be seeing, especially from MP. Down a game, Alchemist is there. It's scary.
Okay. And you're attached to your headset.
I just realized that, I'm coming back.
Yeah. For people that missed it, Alex actually stood up and
He
walked
tried
away.
to.
He tried
to leave the
Alchemist.
job, basically.
But I really feel the good point is that I kind of like MP's draft so far against Hiao. They can force fights early on, but they need to. I mean, if it gets to the point where WeHeart's kind of laughing away with the armlet radius and such, it's going to be pretty much potentially game over. It's going to be very hard for them to come back against a farmed Alchemist. But if Aoi gets ahead, you can get a huge amount of damage on this Sven with the God Strength. You can chunk down that Alchemist.
Natural
but you have
order.
to keep yourself on par.
Natural order plus the Sven ultimate. That's a lot of damage there for MP Sven. So going late game, but then again, you have to understand that Sven is a lot slower than the Alchemist. If you're not going faster in the early game, you're not ahead. The Alchemist just pulls away in terms of network very quickly. And he's not the only problem you're going to have. He does a Luna. That's
there's a lot of team fight on DC and late game insurance policy with the Alchemist there, and it feels like NP, they're good with fighting, but I'm not sure how they will do in a full 5-on-5 team fight. I feel like maybe even Digital Chaos is slightly ahead, depending on if it is a Moonshaker or not.
Jackie Ma's gonna pick something weird like a Death Prophet, I think. I don't know what he's gonna do.
Death Prophet.
Yeah, the
Ooh,
push.
okay, Winter's got a feel.
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
Got a little feel, but he's gonna play some weird hero, I think.
I mean, I'm feeling Jackie Mao bringing out the old Queen of Pain again, personally.
Please,
Come on.
I actually think I think we'd get a
Let's get it
swear.
out
We'd
here
get
on
a
the main
swear
stage.
word. We would get a swear word out of Winter if we saw a Quap.
There's
There's the
axe.
axe. That's the first one.
So
Nice
in
front
terms
liner.
of what we're going to be seeing, it is looking to be what the support of Shaker and Moon on the axe, would you imagine?
Yeah, support Shaker.
Yeah, support Shaker then.
Okay, no Moonshaker. for
Well,
now.
unless they're
No
trying to do something greedy with a jungle axe
Yeah.
and off-lane of Shaker, but I
Can
doubt.
they be greedy against NP's
Dude,
lineup?
they already have Alchemist and Luna. What more do you want to be do? You want to
They
be
can
more
be
greedy?
more greedy, more money.
What do they go for here, though? Final pick. I mean, Envy, he could play something like the Dragon Knight, something that's going to be able to
Yeah.
lane
Yeah,
up against
okay,
the Alchemist,
sure.
stand in the acid spray, you've got that extra armor.
Oh,
I'd still love to see a Queen of
He's
Pain,
gonna
but
show us the Terrorblade mid against Alchemist.
he's not going to do that.
10,
Don't be silly.
It's just
Winter.
Jackie Mao. You know.
6,
What's he going to do?
4.
It's
Oh,
a
the
Timber Saw.
Okay, I mean, there's 3 melee strength heroes on the side of DC, so straight up kind of looking to deal with that one.
But do they have
Um,
a timing window?
Definitely. I mean, against this Alchemist strat, I mean, you've already got a team that's going to absolutely love the Aghanims being
They
given
have
out.
pretty good heroes at dealing with the Alk though. I don't know about timing. Their late game seems pretty good against the Alk.
Okay.
Okay, it's locked in. NP versus DC. Digital Chaos are 1 win away from a semi-final spot here at the Boston Major. We heard from them themselves. They felt like they'd been underestimated by their opponents, and now NP are just 1 loss away from being eliminated here in the quarters. It's time for them to prove and show what they're worth. 1 game of Dota to determine their fate. Your casters are ready, so let's jump in without further ado to another fantastic game of Dota.
Game number 2, DC versus MP. Who is going to take it? Digital Chaos looked very convincing in game 1, but game 2 is a whole different kettle of fish, gods.
Game 2, it's DC with a similar big game, greedy carry, the Naga to the Alchemist, but DC up against a very different NP lineup. This time it feels like NP have adjusted, are looking to tackle the problem directly. They picked up the Timber, they picked up the Elder Titan. They want to be able to try and limit what the Alchemist can do. We'll see how it works.
Is this going to be enough, though? Like, as the panel was saying, like Sheev was going to say, this DC lineup is going to really earn real money. How does NP try and stem that?
Well, they want to try and hit some early game timings. The Sven, well, obviously you want to kind of farm up your Ancients and get those items up first, but normally Sven hits this 3-item timing where he's got Helm of the Dominator, Blink Dagger, and Echo Saber. Once you get that 3rd item, the Blink Dagger, that's where you go, go, go. You take smokes, you play aggressive, but even before then, the lane stage, they want to use the Rubik, Sand King, Elder Titan to really set a fast tempo, try find some early pickoffs. Don't let DC just sit back and farm and chill in their jungle using the Alchemist. So we'll see how well they can play the early game aggression, because that's not really a style that they're necessarily known for. They're more normally they're the ones being the greedier team, which is not the case here.
Well, the laning phase is going to reflect that. For now, Weehaw is just dancing a nice little jig over on the Dire side, knowing he's going to get this first rune. This time it's no competition for the bottom rune. There's DC ensuring the top rune for Weehaw. Unless MSS and Rose have some kind of shenanigans planned. We did see a Rubik get a telekinesis grab and then rune denial, but Rose is too late to the rune. So that is not going to happen today. Or again today.
Yeah, so I really like the Alch pick. It really pulls NP's draft together nicely. It's just like, how much is this an Envy hero? I haven't seen him play it all too much. It's not like a hero that's like kind of his expected hero pool. You think Envy, you're thinking your ODs, your Razors, your Invokers, but playing what's needed for his team here, and it is a very good matchup when he comes head-to-head against the Alchemist. Problem is, Alchemist can lose his lane and get outplayed, but then he's got bounty runes. Then he's got jungle stacks to fall back to. So it doesn't really matter if the lane doesn't go as well as you'd like as an Alchemist, as long as you're getting some runes.
For now, he doesn't have jungle stacks, and for now, we should also probably keep our eyes a little close on top lane.
Yep.
Misery hovering around. Can't really get close enough for a fissure block. Also understands the ET Stomp's going to cause some problems. But the stacks which you're talking about for the Alchemist, they don't exist because Moon is starting inside the jungle. Iron Talon first, disgusting. He'll be playing that jungle, thank you Moon. And then the bottom lane, AUI has a completely free lane, alone as the Sven.
Yep. He's going to look to just push the lane as much as possible, which frees up the pull camps for Rose. So Rose on Rubik is going to get some CS, some farm. as well as levels in the jungle, trying to maximize their efficiency early on. Fissure out from Misery and the Burrow Strike.
Okay. Catching MSS doesn't make as much sense just because the Burrow Strike lets him go underneath that stone wall.
Yeah, like you mentioned, the jungle is the big thing that Alchemist doesn't have just yet. But if things start going poorly for him, got to imagine Axel look to free it up for him later on. Perhaps not till like 5-6 minutes in, but once Alk doesn't jungle until he hits level 6, level 7 anyway. So for the time being, this setup works just fine for them, and it really is DC playing the greed game as far as not even contesting the off lane. They're not looking to keep NP supports busy. This is basically them saying, we're gonna just out farm you. Your supports can do whatever. Your carry can free farm away. We're going to beat him.
Well, as long as your top lane can survive it, MSS has to Burrow Strike away. Resolution has another Lucent Beam available, combining it with the Shadow Word. Okay, that Lucent Beam, the damage, they have enough! From range, DC will find the first blood. Misery's in the neighborhood with a Fissure, and very wisely, SVG will back out.
They didn't even need Misery for that one. That's not the first blood that MP were hoping to give up in that off lane. Considering the Earthshaker wasn't even there, it is a bit of a misstep coming from MP. We'll see if they look to continue their pressure in that lane.
ET Illusion is currently chasing him. He was just farming. That Illusion does practically nothing to that axe.
2 damage.
That's huge, massive, drastic change in his.
He heals faster than he takes damage to that Illusion, but it will be able to block the camps, so that's at least one nice small way to slow down the farm.
But this is around that time that Axe is happy to go to the bot lane. Like, you got your boots, you got your Talon, you got almost 5 levels onto the Axe. So he's very, very happy. Weehaw copping a lot of damage. Misery ready there to throw out the Fissure. He's more of a babysit. Weehaw still salving up, and Envy, he's pretty deep. He's got 10 reactive armor charges up, and now the TP is coming, but it's Axe coming over. Envy, too deep, can't pull out, and now maybe with the spin, Envy down low. Whirling gave him a little bit of space. Bottle charge up quickly. They actually had the movement speed thanks to the early point from Battle Hunger, but Moon, he needs something. Envy up the hill, 1 second till call. Fissure is out, and Envy is still down. Finally down! That armor is effective. SVG also forced out of the top lane. Thanks to the Fatal Bonds, he's actually tied into the catapult. They can attack the catapult and bring him down. They realized it. But the damage was still enough with Lucent Beam. The Observe Ward on the hill gave them very clear vision.
That is the dream start for DC. Dominating their safe lane in the 3v2 setup, and now getting the kill onto Envy's Timbersaw mid lane. Normally a hero in the mid lane who just doesn't go down unless you really commit 3 or 4 heroes. They do bring the 3 heroes there, but it doesn't really feel like they do, considering Alchemist just sat there farming. He didn't even chase. He threw an acid spray and then just backed off.
Bottom lane.
His contribution was very minimal.
Moon has managed to cut the lane, so he gets in, looking for the call, doesn't have it, but the Fissure block from Misery. He waited for the perfect time. Axe, where's the spin for the ding? Misery! All right, totem him down, give that bonus 100%. That's one way to ensure you get through the Warcry armor.
Well, is this going to be the same thing as last game, winning all 3 lanes? DC can't really claim they're winning the mid lane, considering that Alchemist only has 12 CS currently. And ET makes a nice move to swoop on in, prevents one of the stacks from happening. As I think he's well aware that Wii is at that point where he doesn't want anything to do with this mid lane. He just expects himself to be able to farm faster in the jungle, and we'll try and contest this.
Oh, this is a pain lane. Saksa actually commits the Sentry Ward under the tier 1 tower, looking for MSS. Managed to get the Shadow Word off directly after, but MSS Burrow strikes into the trees. Not much mana left, but mid lane is probably going to be where we look for the kill. Envy again on the wrong side of the river. Misery starts with his stun, follows up. The Storm Bolt's coming in, but with the rotation from Resolution, they have more than enough magical damage. The problem is they look very tired while they're asleep in the tier 1 in the mid tier 1 tower.
They had the Eclipse there, but too many creeps in the neighborhood, and the Fissure not quite on the side for Axe to get in range for the call, and really nice positioning from ET to be there to help him out. Zanking top getting very low again, and that high ground cliff ward's causing him a lot of problems.
Resolution wants this rune. He doesn't have a bottle. Envy does, and it's going to steal the bounty. And on bottom lane, it's just the regen for Sven. Okay. Ships in the night. Looks like Envy is up here contesting Weeha as well inside the jungle. Doesn't want to let this Alchemist have any level of free farm. Doesn't have a lot of mana to work with, and Envy's obviously going to be a lot more scared about the rotations of the DC players. Misery still missing on the map.
Coming in, not expecting to be able to kill off Weeha, but hoping to obviously limit the Alchemist farm, even taking these small ones.
Misery's coming. Envy is really overstaying his welcome, but Timberchain will have a lot of confidence knowing there's no concoction.
They've got Luna coming in. The Eclipse is the tool that they need most if they want to get this kill, and Radiant Observer spots the Luna.
It doesn't see Misery, however, and Envy, well, right now he's kind of gone bush.
He's getting greedy.
Trying to hide.
He wants to block the camp before he TP's out.
Courier is going to fly right over the top of Eternal Envy. No Courier kills in this game just yet. And then a quick smoke. This was out of range of vision of MP.
I mean, that's the Envy efficiency. He doesn't want to TP 2 seconds before the neutral respawn. He wants to TP as the neutral respawn gets blocked. So just making that extra little bit of an efficient play to limit
resolution. The timing might be perfect. A quick Lucent Beam. He doesn't have to commit much more. The Lucent Beam will connect. SK in the trees. He's got no way to cut through. MSS. Fog of War is his friend. And maybe now Rose steals Lucent Beam, picks up the Luna, throws it back, gets us on over on the Earthshaker, but then Eclipse is just committed. You can see Rose making a break for the Trolls, hoping for a denial, but with that one hero down, now DC with a catapult can push into the tier 1 tower. Yep. Unless SVG can do something to slow this down. Spirit Stomp is not a bad way.
Got to land it though, and nice little sidesteps will tempt.
Misery has Fissure still. Even if SVG thinks he's got this, he doesn't got anything.
Yeah, AUI's TP was cancelled upon by Moon. Moon is actually going in aggressive. He's got a dunk.
Well, with the spin, if he can get in range, Rose TP's just in time. Telekinesis grab will pull him away. Now there's a call available for Rose. He might be able to actually hold the axe here.
Oh, Moon is just playing like a boss in this bottom lane. He knows there's nothing that can stop him. He sees AUI again.
Make a run for him, but AUI feels like bait. EE is on the way. Careful not to cut away the trees.
His way through.
The rest of MP actually need to have that Fog of War to work. So Timberchain forward. Rose with a pickup. Now the call. Pulling back in range of the tier 1 tower, but Dark Creepwave stops taking the damage. Maybe he'll start hitting Moon, but Saxa arrives. He's got Fatal Bonds plus Rock. They do not want to fight into this one. What's stolen? It's just going to be Shadow Word. Will give good regeneration to Envy if he wants to keep running forward, but Moon and Saxa are leaving.
Moon just like 1v3ing at the bottom lane. Timber rocks up, can't even turn that kill around. That was some ballsy play from the DC offlaner.
Eternal Envy should be dead. Fatal Bonds connects, the Fissure, not the greatest target in the world. Moon will have to run it down in order to get this call off. Able to do so, doesn't want to stand inside the Shark Room, but when they drop the rock instantly into the Culling Blade, it might look like overkill, but it's still going to let them pressure this tier 1 tower very quickly.
Yeah, it was necessary to burst the Tim. Without the rock damage, he wasn't in the dunk range, and the kill may have been lost. So they guarantee the kill and set themselves up to push the tower.
Trouble? No, wait, damn, that's only a level 5. SK, where is his levels? Where is his net worth? He's at 1,500.
Oh my God, he's number 10.
Well, that's not good. The bottom 3 net worths right now are between like 1680 and 1560, and they all belong to NP.
Oh, the smoke here from NP at top.
That's a good Lucent Beam steal, but he can't get in range for resolution.
They get the telekinesis off with the Windlace, the movement speed, able to outstrip what NP were doing. That wasn't a very, like, they just smoked and ran straight at him down the lane. They didn't try and flank him, come in from behind. It was a pretty lackluster attempt at the kill onto the Luna there. And Resolution easily avoids it, so it feels like NP just getting a bit desperate here as DC up 7-0, up a huge amount of farm. Alk has 6.6k net worth. Sven is not farming well at all. Sven hasn't even got his Helm of the Dominator yet.
And Axe just picked up a Blink Dagger. The danger zones on this map are everywhere in Eternal Envy. Bond him up, blink, call. Fissure will hold him there for a little bit longer. He's not in dunk range. Reactive Armor's going to help him. If only he could Timberchain. Wasn't possible. And Moon is able to get the swish.
Well, with a blink this early on, DC have all the tools to control the temp of this game, and this is where it doesn't matter how the Alchemist lane went. He's one on
they
top
see
of the
AUI. AUI's
just
just farming underneath the Dire Observer Ward. Axe can't get close enough to get the blink off. He ran down the wrong way. This allows SVG to come over, gets the stomp on the Earthshaker. Remember, Axe might be willing to fight this. Okay, maybe not so. That's a God Strength Sven that just did not need to be fought.
You give that one up. You're getting free farm on your Alchemist in the jungle, on the Luna at top. No need to spill more blood on your side just to save your kind of 5 position Earthshaker. He's not really getting a hollow farm now. Misery, of course, the 4 position player, but finally we'll see MP with a bit of an ancient stack. They are going to farm it with Envy, helping tank this one for Aui.
And with AUI getting this, at least he can get closer to that armlet. To the BKB. Already has the helm of the Dominator.
Fairly low here, and without the God Strength, it is a bit slower than they'd hoped. But
question mark, where is MP's items?
he's zero. I mean, he's just dying a lot. He's not got any items, Toby.
Yeah.
That's really all there is to it.
That's a very accurate answer.
He's had a rough time. There's been a lot of pressure. He's overextended in the mid lane. Definitely showing that he's not as comfortable on Timbersaw as these other more NBS mid heroes. It's a great pick for this game, a very good counter pick for the Alchemist, but overstepping his limits in the mid lane. He was creep skipping the mid lane, sitting behind the tier 1 tower, and he got punished for it. The Earthshaker and Axe rotations have been on point, and DC
Speaking of which,
have limited what he can do.
Here they go again. Moon looks towards Eternal Envy, blinks forward, gets the call. Timber Chain won't work with the fissure control. Timbersaw low, but not low enough for the dunk. So Envy's able to chain himself up and into the hillsides.
Couldn't get the Lucent Beam off. Rezo was a little bit further behind, but it does still look like DC maybe poised to take this tier 1 mid, but NP already pressuring up top in a decent spot themselves.
Wow, okay, there's a nice little kill back. So there's the second kill for MP. Both have been on the Earthshaker, but times are about to get tough. A 13-minute Radiance is coming on the Courier to Weeha. At the time DC push, they still have their big ultimate up. Suxa has that Rock available. Moon able to get the Blink Call onto SVG. Now the Rock will drop. Not much of a Fatal Bond connection, but it's still enough to ensure the ET will fall.
Might not be able to get this tower now. There's a lot of ultimates
Envy.
just for one.
Oh, Moon almost got the call off. It won't happen. Concoction flies out from Weeha, and now Envy turns to fight. So low, the Radiance is burning him out. Alchemist will find the kill with that Burrow Strike 4 from MSS, but he's locked in thanks to the fissure that Rose stole. The call will bring him in with the dunk. Everyone from DC gets a buff, and they look for more. The Observer Ward scouted out AUI, moving down to the bottom lane, and DC know they can freely push to even the tier 2 tower now.
This does not look like an Alchemist who got pressured in lane and jungle. He had jungle camps constantly being blocked. He had his jungles being stolen by Envy coming in to take like all kinds of different neutral creeps, but still the 13-minute Radiance and not just looking to keep farming with it. Weeha joins his team, fights around this strong early game Radiance time. And whenever he's got the Chemical Rage up between Armlet and Chemical Rage, he's pretty unkillable in that front lines. Envy doesn't have the damage upward yet. Only 2 points in Whirling Death, 2 points in Timber Chain, the single point in Chakram. He doesn't have levels as a Timbersaw to pose a big enough threat.
That seems odd. Now he's going to try and battle against Moon, who gets the call off, and Envy follows him unwillingly.
Yeah, not by his own choice, by any means. Moon was just looking to farm there. He kind of blinked in and didn't realize Envy was on top of him until half a second later.
I don't think he's going to care that much now. He's completed a Vanguard. This is an insanely tanky Axe, which NP can't kill, even because Envy is the one who is meant to be able to deal with him.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for... That's the thing. Even if Sven catches up in farm, there's going to be potential Crimson Guard on the Axe. There's Alchemist who can build into the Shiver's Guard, into the Assault Crest, all kinds of armor items there. He can get blocked off in fights by fissures.
They want to use Misery as bait. Now Axe Blink
Echo
call
Slam.
again. Caught him with the Echo, the fissure, the dunk. Everything is just sweet and fluid for DC.
Yeah, they're making all these good moves where they don't have to bring in 3 or 4 heroes. It feels like when NP go for a kill, it's like 3-4 heroes just to kill an Earthshaker. For DC, it's like 2-man gank. They have a Blink Axe. All he needs is a +1. When you can gank with a Blink Initiator and just have one hero partner up with him, that's when things are going very sweet. Alchemist has not had to come to a fight the entire game.
There goes your SK. MSS tries to hide. Sandstorm won't keep him hidden long enough. So Warlock finds the kill with the fissure, the ET splitter. The death, 100% Misery.
Yeah, it's not so fun, but he's playing just very aggressive with his positioning, which is not to fault or anything. It's how DC are in such a good spot because of some of his movements. Killing the Timbersaw on numerous occasions. It's been really good aggressive play from Misery, but every now and then you get punished. An Earthshaker, very slow hero with no escape, so... Another tower. Weeha's involved in this one once again. He's now got the Boots of Travel. And they can even go for a Roshan if they want fairly soon.
As long as they can hold on to the rest of their lanes, Misery will take care of the top. Luna finishes up an entire Hurricane Pike. Not even a Dragon Lance, a Hurricane Pike 16 minutes in.
We've got more bounty runes coming the way of Alchemist. And yeah, this is really do or die time for NP. They need to think aggressive plays they can make. And I mentioned the 3-item timing on Sven. The Blink Dagger is, I imagine, coming next.
Oh, Envy just wanted to farm. Resolution's going to be here. Lucid Beam won't hit. Concoction flies out. Misery's able to get the stun. Kind of on the wrong side of the fissure, however. So Eternal Envy just makes a break for the top lane. And he'll TP back away to safety in just a sec.
Yes.
Or will he?
It's Envy. You never quite know what he's going to do. Always plays that, it goes for that extra creep wave or that extra bit of efficiency.
He's cutting all the way back past the tier 2 tower. Right now, Greenpeace is not his friend.
Is he going to take this creep wave? Has the Arcane Rune. Look like it.
Well, the creep wave just passed.
He knows his team is coming towards his top lane. Yeah,
he thinks someone from DC is going to fight this, but everyone from DC has already left. They don't want a bar of him.
Yeah, they seem to be well aware that this Sven is, in fact, bait. And they see the Sven top, expect heroes behind him. They say they're all top, we take Rosh. Tier 2 top tower for Roshan. A fine trade in DC's mind.
Yeah, because this is also going to set DC up. Once they have the Aegis to the Immortal, you're looking to go high ground. You've got your combination up. The Alchemist is at a position now where he's going to be very comfortable fighting and not just having to split push this game out. And we'll see if MP's up to the task to defend.
That's kind of what separates the good Alchemist players from the Alchemist players that just go through the motions, picking up the classic items, the Radiance, the Armlet into Radiance, Boots of Travel, Mantis, Style Octarine. It's the ones that know when they can fight. The fact that he fights when he had just Radiance and Armlet because he knew he was ahead. And now he can actually push high ground before he hits some of those item timings. A lot of Alchemist players are just like, oh, I do nothing until I'm 6-slotted. No, this hero is very powerful if you are in fact ahead. So fighting around the Alchemist is definitely a way that DC can look to play this one out, and they do not want to give NP too much breathing room just to make plays happen.
But you can see NP are also very timid, so even if the play is good to go out, and that tier 2 tower still didn't even fall. Digital Chaos took care of it. Yep. The Axe was sitting behind the tower, but MP potentially could have forced the push with that many heroes they had and got some kind of trade, but they don't even get that.
It really shows the team with no vision. They're playing scared. They don't
top
know
lane.
for sure.
Weehaw actually BT's in with the concoction already prepared, stunning into Eternal Envy. Almost a whoa boy. Okay. That is a Mack truck, and he is planted on the grill.
Yikes. That's a worrying sign. Alk solo killing your mid. Envy now 1 and 6 on the mid. Timbersaw. Really signs of the current state of affairs here for Team NP. It's a very desperate position to be in. They need to make use of this Blink Dagger they've now picked up on the Sven. Had to wait for his God Strength and use that to farm the Ancients, and once he's got it back up, it really feels like you've got to go for a smoke and go for a big initiation. It's so risky because of the counter initiation from a Warlock, from an Earthshaker, from an Axe. There's 3 huge counter initiation, but you've still got to do something. You can't sit back and give DC the game, letting them farm and take everything on the map.
I would say the Blink Dagger on the SK might help them too, so MSS has that, but he's being shut down so heavily. It's still a level 1 epicenter.
He just got the Tomb of Knowledge, so he gets that XP up. He's now level 2 at least.
All right.
He's going to look to probably hide in the trees, but if you're DC, you may just push very safely, only have Rezo in the front lines.
Wow, okay. Earthshaker has his own Blink Dagger. Yep. So you can have that Echo Slam. Weeha's already left. Goes to bottom lane, triggers off the Mana Style. Eternal Envy was trying to push this lane out, but Weeha
could just
reads the maneuver, and Weeha, we'll see how much damage he's got. Chemical Rage is on cooldown for the moment, but Concoction will hit, and Timbersaw, there's no way! He can't survive it! EE caught outside the base.
Yeah, tough. He knows there's a lot of heroes top. He wants to get that bit of extra farm before defending, and Weeha just happens to be in the right place. Perhaps could have backed when he saw the illusion, since that's a telltale sign that, hey, Alk is nearby, he just used Manta, but you've got to really push your hero to the limit when you're behind as much as NPR right now, and Weeha able to punish that.
And all he want to do was just farm up more. Picks up more bounty runes on the way around. He's got 3.7k gold on the Alchemist, and it looks like it's Nocturne build. BT's to the top lane, so he's got so many more stats ready to push this top. SVG going to miss on the stomp. In fact, it's going to get fissured. It's a little bit further back, but DC are okay with this. They're here for the tower. Once they have the tower, Resolution's Glaives are going to tear NP in two.
Oh, and that tower's dropping fast.
At least Rose has the Chemical Rage, so he's got a little bit more sustain. But yep, there goes your towers. Visions are out. Moon waiting for the blink. He actually has it on cooldown for the moment. Eternal Envy is actually being forced back out again. The Resolution's just open on the range racks.
And Battle Hunger on Aoi means he can't blink into an initiate. That's a big problem for them right now. They get a lot of good permanent damage on the range racks. The melee racks will be healing up, but I imagine DC are not going anywhere. They want to come back in here.
Yep. Range racks is gone. Glaives continue to bounce around too. Where's your jump? There's the epicenter. MSS goes in. Misery's low, but he still gets a stun off. The Stomp, it might be enough, but no, it's not. Soxa gets his ulti to drop down with the rock. It is all the momentum going the way of DC. The Earthshaker might have fallen, but Resolution stands his ground. The BT's back. AUI looking for some kind of kill, but even then when he TP'd forward, he instantly blinks into defense. And it's Envy caught on the wrong side of the tracks. It's already a double kill for Weehaw. Moon will dunk it down, but it's Resolution with a triple kill, and GG! DC will not only 2-0 NP out of the Boston Major, they will obliterate them.
That was a stomp, Toby. From
it was
Game 1, 25-minute Naga victory. Game 2, 25-minute Alchemist victory. You're talking Alchemist not the biggest of late-game heroes, but heroes that normally win games around the 35 to 40-minute mark. No, DC win all their lanes, outplay NP badly. This was just pristine play coming out from Digital Chaos.
And the only reason why this wasn't a one-punch knockout is the fact that NP were forced to play 2 games. This is brutal, and I would feel very, very sorry for any team that has to go up against Digital Chaos. They are looking solid in draft and solid in execution at the moment.
DC is one of those teams we just haven't talked about too much. They haven't been in that side of the bracket where you've got your VPs, your EGs, your OGs, and they've kind of silently just swooped their way into the semifinals. And realistically, they're playing on a level easily as good as those teams. Potentially, you could argue even better because the way they win, the way they move around the map, it's just flawless. That's a team, NP, who've had really close games against other top teams like Wings. They took down eHome. They beat an EG if you go back to the beat LAN. Yep. And here they are. They look completely outclassed by DC. You've got to look at DC right now as one of the tournament favorites.
I'd be more, okay, Adfin and LGD Forever Young are the team they face up next. DC look really set.
They're loving their bracket, but
yeah, they look really, really set to get into that grand final. Of course, who are they going to face up against? We're going to find out tomorrow. But who's actually going to face up against them from this afternoon's matchup? Panel. Who gets there?
I mean, that is a huge question. We have to just take a couple of moments, surely, Toby, to just appreciate the speed at which that game is over. I know you already commented on it, Gods, but I mean, what is it, 47 minutes for a series? If you actually just add up the in-game time, that's absurd. And I'm sure no one expected to see NP crumble in such a quick fashion.
Their early game really got exploited by DC. Despite the fact DC's picking these late-game carries, the Alchemist, the Naga, I think DC just found a way to really punish NP's weak laning stage.
So picking up wins with stereotypically long game heroes in sub-25 minutes.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the summary.
That's scary if you're going to be versing DC.
All right, so all eyes are on DC. Thank you very much. That was Toby and Gods. It will be a brief casting stint. It's already over. One of the quickest series we've seen in the Boston Major, at least at this stage in the game. Quarterfinals, and it's done in 47.
Toby opened the series saying, we're here again, me and Gods. We have a history of casting long games, and we're in for a long one. And there it is.
Well, they've bucked the trend. But I mean, let's reflect upon this series. Shiva, we can start with you. I mean, it's NPR eliminated, and there's no magical anime-style comeback here.
I thought NP was going to be given some time to have their plan, form around the heroes that they wanted to get the core items, because it was actually Moon that started in the jungle with his axe. I'm thinking, okay, they're going to let Sven free farm. There's a chance here that NP can pull it out, and then they just got everything they wanted so fast, and they killed Envy. Poor Envy. He died like 5 times, I believe, throughout the game. It was very, very unfortunate that Timbersaw needs a bit of a good start. He needs, one of his strengths is that he normally doesn't die. He's very tanky.
Yeah, I mean, one of his strengths as well is doing well in the lane against kind of a melee core in the middle against Yao. And at the very early stages, it was looking relatively all right, but it was an Alchemist. There's always going to be space for him to recover from any sort of pressure in the mid lane, and just the rotations from DC's supports were absolutely bang on in terms of not just shutting down Envy, but pretty much the whole team of MP. I mean, the laning stage was a huge mess, and it really just goes sharply downhill for the side of MP as the game went on.
Yeah, nearly 50% of the kills DC did manage to acquire were versus Envy on that Timbersaw. Winter, you were not necessarily convinced or particularly in love with seeing the Timber in EE's hands.
I mean, usually I would suggest, pick Timber against Alchemist, good laning matchup for that, but I know that he does not play this hero. So I was really surprised that they actually picked up the hero, and we even have a stat, right? As Shiva said.
Yeah, in his pubs, in his history, he has a 15% win rate over 20 games of playing Timbersaw.
15%.
15. 1-5. And this is not his esports profile. This is his
Just generally.
Just generally.
So you'd expect it to almost be higher than competitive, just because he's playing against perhaps arguably lesser opponents.
Yeah, it's not one of his most well practiced heroes. Let's put it at that.
I mean, it really feels, kind of looking at that stat and looking at how the draft panned out, it looked like it was just a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction to the heroes that DC had. They felt, well, we can fit a Timbersaw in here. This is very good against some of the heroes that DC had. But at the end of the day, just the performance was it was punished. You can't necessarily write EE off for struggling himself as a player. It's just the fact that DC, they probably knew that Envy, he doesn't play a lot of Timbersaw in pro games at all, so they knew that would be the weak link. They heavily punished it early on, and Envy on this hero, a hero that he doesn't play a lot, just seemed it was unable to catch back up. He didn't know what to do once he'd been punished that early on.
Is that something that you think could have very well been in DC's game plan, Winter, to kind of not force him into that, but kind of guide him, just like putting the blinkers on and be like, Timber, big Timber?
Probably not, but maybe they know that he doesn't play Timbersaw, and they're really not afraid of. They didn't even try to ban the hero out, so they kind of weren't expecting. I think they banned out the Razor instead, which is something Envy played a lot. So they were just targeting bans at what he usually plays, and maybe they felt like, we don't really have much good options here for Envy. We have to go for something that he doesn't play, but it's really good against Alchemist.
We had a great opportunity earlier on before this series started to actually watch the Misery player profile video. We learned a lot about him. We saw basically the epitome of Danish Viking in his father, saying that it is important to be happy, and I'm sure Misery is happy right now. He's hanging out on the stage. He's got himself a spot in the semi-finals, and Slax is alongside him.
Thank you very much, Machine. And indeed, he is very happy, as is the crowd, as they are yelling and going ham for him. Woo! DC does it again, boy. Takes out MP, probably one of your biggest competitors, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I suppose so. It's NA Dota, Yep. It's the pinnacle of NA Dota. So.
You're a very famous NA Dota player now, right?
I am.
Okay, fantastic. So I want to talk to you about that first game. It looked like you guys were in complete control, and you took that Naga. Were you doing that as a deny pick, or did you just think it would work well for you?
Obviously, we know they play Naga, but we also play Naga, so we just felt like it was a good opening against their Warlock, which we assumed they would go for. So, yeah, we went with it, and it worked out as planned, basically. So.
Now, you are the drafter for the team, correct?
Yes.
All right, so you picked yourself Coddle and then Earthshaker. Both those heroes are kind of seemed as pretty weak by other teams. Why do you guys seem to keep picking those? Why do you like them?
We kind of knew what we wanted to do in game 2. The Shaker pick was a bit like a middle ground, we could go different routes with it, and then it was just like a casual Shaker in a sense. And then they showed one more hero, and then we knew what to go for. So, and the Coddle is just great with Naga, and All
right. Oh, that guy likes Coddle, my boy. All right, attaboy. Okay, so standard question, as all people must ask as you go in the semifinals. This is going to be LGD versus Adfinem. I got to know, who is DC most looking out for in that game? Who do you think is going to be the most dangerous team to face?
I don't know. We'll have to see how this series go. I mean, LGD looked really strong yesterday, I think. Better than expected. Obviously, Xiao 8, the only Chinese team. It's going to be hard either way. Adfinem also looks strong. So we're just going to prepare for the winner, and then we'll see.
All right. Well, solemn words, but very thought-provoking indeed. That was Misery, the man of the hour. Beautiful movie, by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful man. All right, back to you guys on the panel.
Thank you very much. That was Slacks and Misery. Yes, indeed, we did start to open the Misery storybook, and he has added an extra chapter as he gets to the semi-finals of the Boston Major. Will it be the grand finals, and will he be lifting the trophy? Remains to be seen. First of all, he has to overcome who just joined him in the semis. We'll be talking about that in just a moment, but we have got to bring up that scoreboard, and it is a rather dank scoreboard at that. Such a swift dispatch of NP into the second for NP, 20 for DC.
Yeah, I like that there's no total score visible here, so that, you know, you kind of avoid that meme a little bit.
It's there.
Is it there? I can't see it. No.
Absolutely.
It's hidden just under the team names.
Well, okay, it's hidden just under the team
It's
names.
a small 420.
It's a small
It's a casual
one.
420.
You don't really see it that well. Anyway, what you do see well is that overall, Digital Chaos is just... They looked unstoppable in that game.
I mean, this game was much more of a run over than game one, and that's saying something. You know, game one in itself was looking pretty dire for MP, but game two, just DC performing on another level. I mean, it's kind of what we expected coming into this one, you know, unless MP were going to have this special bit of flair.
I mean, let's not forget that we didn't frame it as such, but we were waiting to see DC get tested, right?
Yeah.
I mean, truly tested. They played Wings, they played LFY, and they played Faceless. NP, most people would agree, is in a different category to those, and another quick 2-0. Surely this is where, you know, you start shoveling coal into the DC hype train. I know I would.
Yeah, like everyone was saying, oh, MP is going to be a tough test because they know them well, but at the same time, DC know them well. So a lot of the bans and picks were really directed towards certain playstyle that MP has.
And perhaps to investigate that playstyle better than anyone here on the panel is Purge. Let's see what he's got for us here. I'm rubbing my hands together and ready to learn some more.
Hey guys, once again we saw an Alchemist do very well, but it's not like NP didn't do their best to try to shut it down. They've won a lot of outgames, have turned into victories, and NP followed up with the Timbersaw, much talked about, but a very good 1v1 hero against Alchemist. Very high regen, very high armor, and your first skill is also going to do a huge nuke against Alchemist and make sure that his HP is lowered temporarily. So pretty much any trading against him is not going to work out. You could see Envy's pressure in the lane. Despite being a little sloppy with the hero here or there, his laning was fantastic, and he constantly kept Weehaw at really low CS. The supports even rotated to make sure that no matter what, Alchemist did not get a rune, which was a really nice benefit as well. No free bounties to catch up as well. But things kind of started turning sour when they started losing heroes in their dual lane. Because he grabbed the top rune, MSS on the Sand King ends up dying on the top lane. And then as the game rotated around, Moon Meander got into the lane and did amazing against the Sven. Melee hero versus an axe, and they had Fissure to keep the axe closer to those melee heroes. And that was really a big thing that turned fights around repeatedly. A couple fissures here and there guaranteed that they got follow-up and were able to get those kills. So while Envy did have a pretty straightforward laning matchup, he tried his best to pressure against Alchemist. It just didn't really work out too well. And this was really the first fight where they finally got Radiance. It came about here. And even without Radiance, I don't really see NP winning this fight. They're already really far behind in net worth as well. So the laning stage, they did their best, but Envy couldn't quite carry the game on his shoulders. Maybe a little sloppy on the hero, but ultimately a pretty straightforward DC win.
Yeah, straightforward. It's not usually attributed to DC Comics. They make absolutely no sense, but it's good to see that we are seeing DC pick that one up convincingly. Oh, again with a rhyme. I hate myself. Okay, guys, but let's wrap up this series. It is going to be the quickest one we've seen. 47 minutes of play across 2 games for that victory. I just want to say your closing thoughts, though, in that rather fantastic and spectacular Dota tie.
Hey, Ralph, oh, thank you.
Is that available to the public, or is
it
that,
is
that
right
like a
now
Caster
at the
exclusive?
Secret Shop over opposite the Wang. There we go.
Opposite the Wang.
Opposite the Wang, not mine. The theatre that we're in.
Hang on, wait. I don't know. Are you pointing your Wang? No.
No.
You could, if you point your
I'm
Wang
not at
and
the
then
moment, Alex. I mean, that, you know, there's nothing really too exciting about that series in terms of flashy plays from MP. It may have been there if there was, maybe if the Envy Queen of Pain came out. It didn't. We got the Envy Timbersaw instead, which was.
Queen of Pain floats your boat, does she?
Only when Envy plays it,
okay.
and only when he misses the Sonic Waves. So you know, it's very, very particular.
Okay.
But overall, I think the series, as I said at the start, we needed MP to bring a special bit of flair. You know, the bit of the magic. It wasn't quite there today. Maybe if we saw this matchup on another day, it would have gone a different way. But DC overall, reliability, they take the series.
It's a
really
British
strong.
thing.
Wasn't there. He's doing it. He can't stop.
It's a British
It's
thing.
a bug. We've caught the bug.
Oh.
Rhyming bug.
Yeah, you did it accidentally there.
You were rhyming. Okay, well.
Right, Shiva, I do just want your closing thoughts, and also actually let's screw closing thoughts. Let's set our sights on what is ahead, because we have another series. One more team needs a semi-final spot. We have 3 of 4, and I know you're excited.
I am very excited. I think it is no secret I was a little biased on the panel yesterday.
Sure.
And I'm happy that I'm not going to be biased on the panel next series, because I am going to kick my feet up, and I'm going to just watch the game and enjoy some good Dota, because I mean, I was really surprised to see LGDFY do so well yesterday. Personally, I was expecting LGD, like the original LGD, to make it through, but I mean, you can't underestimate the power of Zhao 8. So I'm kind of worried for Adfinem, but I think it's going to be a great series.
Yeah.
Maybe you can get hooked up with like an Adfinem shirt, just go sit yourself in the crowd and enjoy it from there. I'm sure they're having fun. They've been making plenty of noise. And just finally, Winter, both teams have impressed. One beat LGD, invited. The other beat Newbie, invited. I mean, these guys have both surprised. They've taken 2 invited teams out of the equation. This should be a fantastic final game.
Yeah, both teams have a really good matchup in their previous series. Yeah. And they have a point to prove. Xiao with his stand-ins, not a pushover, and Adfinem, the new team, the hungry team.
Yeah, there you go. A perfect summary. We have got a lot of stories to look forward to. And actually, you know what? We've got a little treat for you while you wait. While you do prepare yourself for the final series of the day here, before we prepare for the semi-finals, we're going to be taking a quick look at some Dota Family Feud. I don't know. That's what I've been told. Let's take a look.